Good glorious morning, everyone. I'm joining you today from beautiful village of Tiki Island in the office of a darling friend of mine. I'm here because I'm helping with some diet and lifestyle changes. This holiday season can prove quite challenging for some of us. And so I wanted to speak to you today about balance. Yes, even during the holiday season. Now, we came through Thanksgiving, and many of us recuperated. I had to do some recuperation after Thanksgiving, and I've done quite well. I made it back to my balance, and that is truly what I wanted to speak to you about today. Balance. Everything in nature is based on balance, and the human body is most intricately designed to maintain a healthy balance. It's called homeostasis, okay? And so if one part of your body, let's say for instance, you sprain your ankle or break your leg, and so you're kind of hippity-hoppity along. So what happens is your body compensates, okay? If you have to be on crutches, then your arms help with your movement as well as your other leg. And so then when you get off of the crutches or out of the cast or away from the limitation, you still might have some residuals of the incident, meaning you might find that your gait, although you may not be any longer walking with a limp, it'll take a few days for you to find that balance again. You might even have to get chiropractic adjustments or something like that in order to regain your alignment. But in the meantime, what I've noticed when I deal with people, and I've dealt with people for years doing things like massage, I'll notice that the opposite side has a lot more tension in the muscles because it has had to compensate for the lack of mobility on the other side. Okay, so while one part of you may have sustained injury or damage, some other part of you is going to take over to try to keep you sustained. Okay, that's understood, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so my point with this is that when we're going through these holiday seasons, and I am getting to the point that I am appalled when I walk through the stores because more and more, and pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. I'm not a proponent of particularly conspiracy theory, but I do recognize, and please recognize what's going on. There is so much shiny stuff. Okay, and I like Christmas lights, I like Christmas trees, I like, all these things. But people, we have gotten so far away from nature. Okay, the stars twinkle, they still do. Look up at them sometime this season. And I can hardly wait for the next full moon, the final full moon of this year, because I know that it is going to be phenomenal, because it's going to bring about just phenomenal energy, and I am so ready. Okay, that's a whole nother subject. So I want to go back to balance. Everything in nature is about balance. Our intricate, beautiful human bodies is about balance. Now, during this holiday season, particularly the peak of this holiday season, I want to say from now till January 6th, okay, or even January 7th. I forget which one of those days is the Epiphany. So somewhere in there, we come to the day of Epiphany. And that's going to bring us into another sense of balance. But as you're going through the supermarkets and the gift shops, recognize a couple of things that are going on. All of the shiny things that we are attracted to. And particularly, I'm going to work on this one, the sugar. O to the M to the gosh. There is so much sugar. And perhaps I'm more aware of it because I'm more aware of the imbalances that it has brought into my own personal life. And while you may be 15 and think that you can eat all the chocolate Santas that you want, or you're 55 and it's never bothered you before, it's never bothered anybody in your family, so it's not a problem for you, or whether you're 85 and have that same thing, it is doing something to you. So I want you to do a test. So, sugar, dairy, and I'm going to say wheat because for a lot of us, with the conditions of how our wheat is grown, processed, manufactured, packaged, and all this kind of thing, a lot of us are recognizing that we have adversities with digesting it. Okay, so sugar, dairy, and wheat are the ones that I pick on. And the two that are at the top of my list that will really bring any indication to you immediately, okay? Now, everybody that knows me knows how much I have really loved Bluebell ice cream for like years, okay? I have had very, 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 very little Bluebell ice cream in the past few months, okay? And that by decision. So let's pick on dairy for a little bit. If you're getting the milk that's out of the stores, if you're baking with a lot of dairy products, let's say, for instance, you have this most delightful piece of cheesecake. And we think the cheesecake is fine because it's made out of natural products and it's got fruit on top maybe and all this kind of stuff. I'm just picking that one. Or even you can have a piece of apple pie with a thing of Bluebell on it, okay? So that then you get the sugar and the dairy, and those are the two that I'm picking on. And because those are the two that are going to be most prominent during this holiday season, and it's real easy to overindulge. So have a little bit of that. Give yourself 24 hours. I promise it won't take 24 hours. If you're paying attention to your body, it won't take 24 hours. Notice the next day if you've got a little phlegm in your throat. If you wake up, you might even have the sniffles, depending on how much you've indulged, okay? Your mucus, your saliva might just be a little mucusy. Now, for me, that will happen in about 2 hours after I have consumed a sugary dairy product or a piece of chocolate candy. I'm learning where my balance is. I can have a small piece of chocolate candy, okay? For me, dates is my candy. Okay, I don't get the mucus. I don't get any problem with it. Of course, I'm only having one, maybe two at a time. And so that brings us to another point, moderation in all things. However, if you overindulge, especially on the sugar and the dairy, and you've got a whole lot of mucus and stuff coming up over the next few days, scale back really as much as you possibly can on the sugar and the dairy. The wheat too, but the sugar and the dairy are the ones that are going to cause the most problems. And you'll think that you're coming down with the flu. You don't come down with the flu. You prepare a place for the flu to grow, okay? So you pave the way to that with your with your behavior. We do get a lot of toxins in the environment, but most of the time, what's going to cripple us up the most, okay, is not paying attention to the body, like not paying attention to that hole in the sidewalk that you tripped over and broke your leg. We have to pay attention, okay? So I'm calling your attention to paying attention to your body and your body responses during this holiday season. Now, in Ayurveda, there's a balance to everything. So, if you're too cold, you're going to turn on the heater. Okay, that's a natural occurrence. If you're cold inside, you're going to drink something warm, okay, or hot, okay? Trying to create that balance, okay? So when you get too much sugar, then the next day you need to get into the mustard greens, okay? You need to get off the sugar, which is sweet, and go to bitter, all right? That's your mustard greens, your turnip greens, your kale, your dandelion greens. And some of these things are not readily available to some of the people that I'm dealing with. And so a lot of times I will stop at the places where I can get it and bring it, okay, and introduce them to it. So what's going to balance the sweet is the bitter, okay? And that's all I'm going to give you today, because that's the prominent one that's coming up in this holiday season with all the sugars. And as a matter of fact, it's going to run all the way probably into February, okay? And this is the winter season. So here in Texas, in the southeast area, in the coastal area, we have a fluctuation of the weather, where it's warm and it's humid and then it's windy and it's dry and it's cold and it's wet and all these kinds of things. So you're getting bombarded from the outside as well. So I'm going to leave you with this one tip today to get you through the holidays. And you can call me 408-917-9013. My number is on my Facebook page. And you can text me at that number and you can say, I'm feeling really, really sick. And I can give you some tips to how to come through that naturally. Don't go, well, you can do however you want to. But a lot of us will go, oh, I think I'm catching a cold. I'm going to grab some Mucinex. And I'm going to grab some Benadryl. And I'm going to grab some things. Putting drugs on top of this thing, rather than addressing the root cause and the issue, okay, is probably going to compound the problem down the line. Okay, so you got to go to work on Monday morning. You don't have time to drink castor oil or do something drastically natural. And you can't take mustard greens to work. Well, you could, but just on a more natural thing. And so you're thinking, well, I got this and I can do this and it helps me feel better. It helps me get through the day. And then 3 days later, you have a full-on effect of kind of feeling like you've got the flu and you're not feeling as better as you thought you would anyway. So take those things into consideration. Balance out the sweet with some bitters. And at the very least, wake up in the morning and have a cup of warm water with lemon, and then wait about 30 minutes. And when I say a cup of warm water, let's go for 10 ounces. Let's drink it as warm as you can get it. Let's squeeze a real lemon, okay? Organic is best. I'm all over that now. But that's a really, really good place. That's going to get in and kind of alkalinize what's going on, okay, and help your body stop building up so much. Now, if you put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there with that lemon water, okay, just a pinch, because it will let you know. But the cayenne pepper and the lemon will get in your body and kind of like act like little scrubbers. You know how we have that commercial where the scrubbing bubbles say, we work hard so you don't have to, okay? And take Take your little thermos. Everybody's got neti cups or Arctic cups or those kinds of things right now that will keep your thing warm for an extended period of time. Take it with you. Okay, make a 24-ounce cup of it and put the top on it and take it with you. Sip on that all day. Okay, that'll get some of that mucus broke up and help you survive. And then you can call me and I can give you some other tips. So let's have a wonderful, happy holiday season. Um, don't overconsume. Maintain some balance and some discipline. But most of all, pay attention to your body. You are wonderfully and intricately and beautifully and gloriously made. So have a glorious Christmas season. And I hope to hear from some of you. Enjoy yourself. This is the season of miracles, and after the year that we've had, we need some miracles. I've already started experiencing some in my life. So, and you, my dear friend, are one of them. Thank you for listening today, and remember, God totally loves us all, and it is God's desire that we have life and have that life abundantly. Enjoy your abundance, moderation in all things, and maintain your balance. I love you. Have a glorious day.